Okay, so welcome to lesson 3 of Unit 9, which is making enclosures. And today we have a very special enclosure planned, and that is this huge enclosure right here. So you'll be starting off at this point right here, or any point you desire. Remember that the left side is the last column and the right side is the first column. So it's flipped, right? Remember we did this last week. So this first column is going to be this wall here, and this last column is going to be this wall right here, right? That's how that works. Okay, perfect. So now that you know that, let's take a look at a few things so we can get started. So the first thing you're going to do is do ink and then ink 2. I'm going to give you this code, or it'll be in your worksheet. So we'll do ink like so, which makes this shape right here, right? And you can see there's no hallway in the middle, so we can add that right now, or walkway rather. So we'll do ink 2. Let me just type that in, enclosure 2, like so. You can see now there is a enclosure in the middle. So what I want you to do is make an enclosure, right? And you've got lots of space to include. The only rule is that you cannot use Minecraft, and I'm going to actually be disabling like so, disable true. So that means you cannot place blocks. You can place any block you want to using code, but you can't do it, or you can't do it, rather, can't do it. Almost sounded American then. You can't do it placing blocks like, regular Minecraft is what I mean. So I want you to try to use what you've learned in the past couple of weeks, where we can make some terrain. Maybe you can make a little cool hill here with a tree on top, and then maybe you can make some vines over here. You can do all sorts of different things, right, using code. Some of you guys made these really interesting things last lesson. Danny, I know you weren't there, but yeah, we did do some interesting things. This is me just clearing up some mess that some students might have made last week. Okay, and I think this was Xian's. I did get rid of it, but he has some other ones over here somewhere that I did not get rid of. Okay, but we don't need to look at that for now. You can see, yeah, that's another hill that someone might have made. So you can use everything we've learned in the past couple of weeks to create your own enclosure. And that's pretty much it. Let's do a little bit together, just so you can understand what I mean by this side is the first column and this side is the last column. So if I want to add something inside, let's add something inside, let's add something inside the hallway. So we'll put in ink 2 contents. And maybe I want to add a bunch of trees on the inside, which sounds reasonable, right? That sounds like an interesting thing to do. So let's go ahead and do that. So what would I do? Well, I would, first of all, I can get rid of all of this, like so. And I'd have to make sure that my coordinates are inside of these values. So don't do anything below 6, don't do anything above 14, don't do anything below 19, don't do anything above 38. And I want to make sure that I'm standing in the same place I stood when I made it. Don't go towards the enclosure and then make it from where you are right now. So it requires a little bit of planning, which is going to be the difficult part, but you should be able to do this. So let's use fill with, as you guys are very familiar with this. And what should I make? I like dark oak, to be honest. Dark oak's one of my favorite ones, and it's 1938. So that is how long it is. Okay, fine. And 6 to 14 is the width of the passageway, which is fine. Okay, so let's do 8 to 12, and let's do 20 to 37. Now this should make a block of these trees on the inside. Okay, so we'll type in ink 2 contents. You can see that's made a bunch of trees. Now, how do I get these trees to grow? Well, super easy. I just use bone meal. You see, it's now growing. It's not going to grow everywhere because it needs light and enough space to grow. But you can get, some really interesting enclosures already, right? So that's something I can do really easily, is adding trees. And you can see, guys, I actually made a tiny bit of a mistake, right? I didn't do exactly what I wanted to do. Maybe this should be 9 instead of 8, but 6 to 8. Actually, I think maybe this should be 13. Well, you can see that it went too close this side, right? And not exactly where I wanted on this side. But that's fine. That also might have been because I was standing a little bit this way, right? So yeah, that's super easy to make trees. If I want to make some water, I can also make some water. Let's do it right here. So we'll do on this side, and I'll get that right there. This is going to be called ink contents. And all I'm doing is I'm going to look at these coordinates and I'm thinking, okay, it has to be inside of this. And if I want water, it has to be underneath, right? So, okay, let's use fill with. Let's do that again. Fill with. Maybe I want it from 3 to, I don't want it too big, right? Maybe let's make it 3 to 12. Let's do 3 to 12 here. And I want to make it quite deep, right? So let's do it from -5. There we go. And we'll do water. There we go, water like so. And then I might want to add some coral. So let's try and add some coral. See what happens. We did experiment with coral last time and it seemed to work. It seemed to work okay. Okay, let's do that. Perfect, good. And maybe I don't want coral everywhere. I want it just on the inside. So we'll do 411 and 411. You can see I'm just making sure it goes inside the numbers, right? That's all I'm doing. I'm not really checking super thoroughly. I'm just making sure it goes inside the numbers and I'm not overlapping the numbers, so to speak. Okay, so we'll do that. What else should we do? What else could be in an enclosure? Well, maybe we could have something else. Let's see what other blocks we have. Maybe we can add a hill. Why not? Let's make it oak hill. So we'll do from 14 to 18, and we'll go from, did I go from 3 to 12 and from 4 to 11? So 3 to 12, we'll do 14 and 18 again. 14 and 18, like so. This will be from 0 to 1, and because I'm making a hill, I need to repeat this until it vanishes. So we'll now do 15, 15, 17, 17, like so. This will be 1, this will be 2. We'll do one more. This will be 16, 16, 16, 16. We'll do 2 and 3. Okay, let's see if that works. So we'll do ink. Okay, great. Ooh, there's no water. Very interesting. What's going on? Well, why is there no water? Is it because fill with -5 to 1? This is interesting. I wonder what's happening here. Ink contents 3 to 5, -5. Okay, let's do. I think I know the reason. Let's do -4. Let's see what happens there. And then this should be -4. This should be -4 too. Let's see if that works. There we go. But it's gone too far. Okay, that's fine. So we'll do -1 instead of 0. And then that would have been correct. You can see I've actually gone too far down as well. So maybe we need to make this -3 or -2. And this should be -2 as well. So you can see I'm making lots of mistakes. And it's fine. You can make mistakes. It's okay. Just keep coding, keep going forward, and you'll be okay. So let's actually put everything together again, because we kind of messed that up, right? And we have lots of space, so we can just go here. So we'll do ink 2. We'll do ink contents. We'll do ink 2 contents. Great. So you see that I've made some sort of enclosure. Now, this is what I want you to do. That's all you should be doing, right? So it shouldn't be too difficult. And if you make mistakes, try again. It's no big deal. You can see I made plenty of mistakes, and yeah, I make mistakes all the time. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. Just go for it, have fun. And if you do this, you can start making your enclosure. What I would want you to do is make your enclosure first, and then put in your animals, right? That's what I want you to do. Please make sure you do an enclosure. As you know, you can't use Minecraft in this world now, because you can see, like, it just comes up as this black box, which means you can't use anything. Please don't try to change the settings. I know you guys know how to, but that's not what today's lesson is about. And if I catch you doing it, I'm going to put you in jail. So please, I'm going to be super strict about it in this lesson. Make sure you're doing the thing you're supposed to be doing. And yeah, you can end up making a really, really cool enclosure like so. Okay, guys, wonderful. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Goodbye.